Hey guys, what's going on? Normally I do a video. Today I just wanted to do a video with one of the spirit testimonies from Antiquity Unveiled. Today I just kind of wanted to talk to y'all about some things that have been on my mind, and I don't know really what I'm doing here. I just kind of got the feeling that I needed to do this, talk to you guys about some things. Um, it's all kind of weird, really. It's been kind of a journey over the last 6, 7 years. A lot of personal growth going on. I wanted to talk about some things, put some things to rest. There's definitely been some hardships in my life with bringing Antiquity Unveiled to the fore, uh, and also exposing a lot of just the malarkey that goes on in these secret societies. But I don't even want it to be one of these videos where it's all conspiracy. I'm not really. I have nothing but thank yous actually. It's kind of weird, but definitely to say, first of all, I think we've all been in bad places, but I'm no exception. But what I've just been trying to do is align myself with the Creator, all that is, the one that can't be named, and just respect life and creation, and just start trying to figure this all out. Um, we live in an age where there's information, more than there's ever been, and yet, at least in America here, it's a lot of people don't even care to even look at a lot of the ancient mysteries and the great minds. Neoplatonists. Some of these guys were absolutely incredible. We've lost a lot of wisdom. Um, some of it has been tampered with. Yeah, absolutely. But again, I'm not trying to really be negative. Just trying to keep it light here today. I mean, I think a large part of this whole battle that we're in with the dark is a war on vibration. That's why they're feeding us meat and stuff. Like it's these low vibration things. That's where they want us, in those lower chakras of just totally preoccupied with sex, survival, and power. And it's a lot of where we operate. And this is kind of crazy if you think about your higher self, your higher nature isn't so much bound to the functions of your physical organism. And it seems like another big lie going on right now that really needs to be dispelled is that you are your body. You're not your body. You are an eternal soul. And you know they've tricked us all into thinking that. And we spend all this time being concerned about, oh, what's going to happen to my body, what's going to happen to my body, and worried about its comforts and things. But how much time are we really spending polishing the part of us that's eternal, our soul? And I guess that's a big part of what I just want to talk about. Like what are we doing? What's at stake here? Kind of what our opportunities are. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't claim to be anyone. I'm just kind of guy that doesn't like being lied to, and there's been a lot of that going on for a long time. So cutting into this and really getting into the truth is it's exciting, but it can be challenging. Because it just seems like every time you think you get to that plateau, it's something else, and that's good because the creator keeps evolving, keeps it interesting. But I wanted to talk a lot to, some of my soul groups. A lot of these people are people I incarnated with, people around, they, were in the vicinity of, it's just not me, it's everyone, our spirits trying to game plan a little bit, the incarnation, and, there are no accidents, and coincidences are definitely, breadcrumbs to be followed. I remember, initially when I was starting to try and, wake up to a lot of this stuff, James Redfield and Celestine Prophecy was great inspiration because I was, going through a part of my life, um, where, I had been in Catholic school, told, told by the Catholic school that I'd been, possessed by the devil. That's a whole other story. It's just funny. Um, maybe we'll get into that later. But then I went to military school with, in Valley Forge, and, I was just an asshole when I came out of there. Really, they, it's real low vibrating, um, stuff, and, I was a dick for a long time, and, I'm sorry, for a lot of the things that I did, I regret them. But, it's all a learning experience, and I try and be a silver lining guy, and, everything does kind of happen for a reason. So, um, you know, there is a silver lining. But, a lot of, just what I've been, thinking about with these soul groups and everything that we're all involved in. We're all connected, like they say. No one's more than like your 50th cousin on the planet. People get into a lot of bloodline stuff. And I could go into that right now, but I don't feel like it. It doesn't. I think at the end of the day, we've probably have had thousands of incarnations before we even had a layer of skin. And as there are, as we are to ants, there are beings, to us. But it's all evolution, and it's all in the creator. We're part of that, and that's what, it's like part of this waking up, has been, and definitely anyone. Oh, I'm awake. It's like yes and no. Like, it's definitely always a learning curve. Like, I mean, like I said, once you think you got it figured out, there's always something else. It keeps going, and I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing for all of us. Um, one of the things I wanted to do was, just address, and say thank you. This is kind of weird, but I think, a lot of us, we forget, the roles that the challenges in our life, can help us with. And no one was ever really great without, the without doing something, having some sort of opponent, whether, you know, in whatever form that, um, that takes. So, we have to think about, I think, the evil in the world. That, I spent a lot of time really upset about it, getting into dark places and figuring that, a lot of this bullshit out, which is, a lot of it's true. But, you know, one thing that, for me, and, this is around the time, just say it, like, I don't care. Like, I mean, I care about, like, all those loving, all you loving people I love, but, you guys know how it is with the trolls, or maybe not. But I mean, you can't care about what all these low vibrating people want to just bring you down, say. Um, Hopefully, if you can say something truthful, and help someone to kind of maybe, just better their situation a little bit, then hey, it's all worth it. And I think that's what, is starting to try and speak out for this stuff is about. And, you know, there's a lot of people, um, who've been talking to me about speaking out, but I get back to that. What I wanted to just say is actually, you know, I had fallen asleep. I was spiritual when I was young, and then college, I just kind of, I fell into the material world. I totally was drinking the Kool-Aid. I felt like, yeah, maybe if you would ask me at that time, do I believe in God? I would say, yeah, of course. But like, I was just, I let myself become a materialist, and I forgot about what was really important, and you realize we're not our bodies. We do everything, all this stuff for our bodies, which we are not, which are temporal, which will be gone. And the eternal part will remain. And what are we going to have in eternity? What do we carry with us? But, our good deeds, virtues. I don't know. I mean, experience, I think experience is definitely one of the, like, I don't know, sounds generic to say it, but the currency of the soul or whatever. I mean, our souls crave experience. That's why, we've been going through a lot of all this. Um, we want the experience, and here we are. This is a very special time, and I know I've been saying that since 2012. Actually, before that, and it's true. I mean, but it's also a very challenging time, especially places, America here. As George used to say, the empire of evil. And in a lot of ways, it is. A lot of bullshit comes out of Washington. A lot of this old, malarkey is just extended over here. And, I mean, there's so much stuff out there as far as, like, global conspiracies. That's one of the first big ones. Is, just the just the levels of deception and how ridiculous it all seems. The whole truth is stranger than fiction thing. It's definitely very true sometimes. And sorry, I keep this thing. I don't know. I don't even know why. Like, I'm really doing this. Like, I did, kind of a game plan, but I'm never one for really nuts. But again, just a big thank you to, in this case, my grandfather, who, maybe did some bad things, but it was really him that woke me up to a lot of this, and this is August, and why I got put in Rockford and all these fucking mental institutions, and this crazy stuff, and you start speaking out against powerful groups. I mean, it does. It sounds crazy. I mean, I can totally see the mindset of being a Kool-Aid drinker. I don't even know if I like that term, but just someone that's not hasn't woken up to a lot of this. It does seem nuts, until you really start doing your own research and going through it. That's what you got to do. I mean, that's what it's all about. Don't take anyone's truth. Find it for yourself. People can help you, but you know, find it for yourself. And it's all a lot of it's in the stars, sun, moon, stars. You know, there's just a lot of great great, stuff out there. I mean, you start to learn some of the, great teachers. Santos Bonacci is awesome. I mean, the, it is the whole time it's been right in front of us. It's like the sun staring right at us, and we don't see. But this ancient wisdom, it's where it's at. It's not this materialism. It's it's learning the great work that that elevates the soul, and in a lot of cases, the body. The ascension is just a part of that. It's, to me, anyway. Everyone has their opinion. I don't even really like to have opinions, but it just feels like it's a vibration, it's frequency. I think that's where we're at. It's a war on vibration, and we got to start living in truth and just doing the good works, and living clean, and it really, really pays dividends. I wanted to just mention real quick, some of the things that I've been going over, personal, just sort of epiphanies, you know, it's, I guess I'll just talk about this. I wasn't even planning on that. But it's kind of weird. But if you're watching this, you probably know. So when you look at the whole cleansing thing, people are cleansing their body of parasites, cleansing their body of funguses, cleansing their bodies, bacteria, and all these things that in the animal kingdom can actually get into their brains and control them. Google zombie fungus ants. It's like a thing. I don't think it's a fungus that gets in an ant and basically gets it to latch onto a plant. What's called the death grip, I believe, where then gets nutrients while it's latched onto the plant, and the fungus basically uses it as a flower pot to hatch up through. There's also a thing with a grasshopper where it gets the fungus or the parasite gets the grasshopper to jump into water where it dies, and then it hatches its eggs. This stuff is all going to sound so crazy, but that's okay. Because St. Patrick, was just actually reading Antiquity Unveiled, and I believe it was Saint Deacon or Delkin was talking about, Saint Patrick was actually an ancient Druid priest, a sun worshiper, and it got me, thinking about all the legends, him driving snakes out of Ireland, which is near and dear to my heart. We're Irish. But anyway, there are no real snakes to speak of in Ireland. There, I don't know, maybe a few little ones or something, but there are none. So what's he talking about? You know, people talk about, having demons and you can see it. You know what I mean? You can see it in some of these like mental institutions where people are, obviously disturbed. Whether these are actual demons or egregores. The thought forms that turn into, negative things, entities, what have you. But a lot of this stuff, it's real. You know what I mean? Like, um, not to get sidetracked too much. It does kind of like take down it, but back to the whole. I demonized my grandpa a lot. Like I hated him for being in the Bohemian Grove, being in an evil organization like that. And I let a little bit of hatred creep into my heart there, and it wasn't, maybe it wasn't healthy. Um, but why I'm thankful is because without that catalyst, I remember waking up when a part of the whole trigger thing. I don't think we're really awake till we're with God. But when I was early on after his funeral, I found the card, that you get at the service, and I remember reading esteemed member of the Bohemian Grove, wondering what's that, but that's what I'm saying. Thank you, because it was honestly, learning about that made me say, oh my God, even if I've quit believing in a whole lot myself, I've just been beat down by the world and let, all this materialist programming, creep into my heart. Like even then, I realized, I'm like, these guys believe it. You know what I mean? They believe it. And it inspired me again to start believing in the positive end of that. People call it ascension, people evolution. I don't know. I mean, I'm never really happy with a lot of these words. Words can be a funny thing. They can tell you a lot. The whole lexigramming thing. Words inside of words telling you things. There's a lot to it. It's very true. Um, but so so thank you. That was, and this is just kind of like a humbling thing for me because first of all, trying to cleanse yourself is is a humbling process. Um, it's just the nature of it. You're letting go of things literally, and I've heard people talk about how worms, tapeworms, hookworms, pinworms, and things are actually the physical manifestations of these negative entities, whatever you want to call them, demons or whatever. I think there's definitely a physical component to a lot of the possession that's going on with people these days, and that's part of it. Definitely sounds ludicrous, but not really. I guess it all depends who I'm speaking to. Some people get it. And maybe that's kind of like why I do partly what I do, just because it's not popular to try and talk about this stuff at all. People get really upset, but I just noticed like in the last even 4 years, stuff I was getting locked up for, the politicians are talking about in the election now, 9/11 and all that, and so there's been a leap. There's been a big shift in consciousness already. Um, Whether we, want to see it or not, but I just feel like the star seeds coming behind us. You know, they're going to be something. They really are, and they're not going to be held back by all these legal fictions and the names, and just all this trickery that's been done through the church and all these obsessed with KB Trust that back farther than that, and all this just Babylonian, money magic. People want to say, oh, I'm a conspiracy theorist just because I'm not successful and make a ton of money. I think that's so funny. I felt like I almost sold my soul getting an insurance out of college. It was totally not me. And, but we're brainwashed as hell. And I'm not, judging people. I've been, done bad things and been totally brainwashed myself. So like it's all a learning curve. It's just, when are you gonna have that aha moment that's gonna kind of say like, whoa, this is bullshit. What these, you know what I mean? Like you can just see it. Like there's no light in some of these people's eyes. Like it's just they want to talk to you about moral values and virtues and shit. Just like look at them. They are. It's just you can just tell there's not a lot of soul in them, and that's like what Apollonius was talking about. We're not. There's nothing different than me than you so much. Is just I have more spirit in me, and that's what I want to talk about. As we start cleansing ourselves out and getting rid of all these negative manifestations, on the actual physical level. They can be parasites and bacteria and fungus and stuff, on up into the astral. As we start to flush this stuff out through good practices and good living, we can pull more of our souls into us, and that's how we can affect the great work. And it makes sense to me if you think like you're your higher self, like you are, but what kind of temple do you want to be in? Do you want to be a person that's trying to take care of themselves and live in a real alkaline, type of manner? Dr. Sebi does a lot of great stuff on that. Check him out. What do we want to do here, guys? Like we're giving a great shot to, affect our eternal being. A lot of us, especially, I feel like the people that have incarnated around me, and and even in other countries too, but a lot around here, I feel like we're old incarnations of Lemurian civilization. A lot of us, say what you want. I don't really. I mean, okay, to the extent I love you all, but for the trolls, it's like find a bridge, man. It doesn't matter really anymore. But I think we all just need to come together. I think all this racism stuff is just so funny that it's trying to divide us. Like we've all been all the races. We've been our moms have been our dads. We've been their moms. Like when you understand the roles for reincarnation, it's so crazy. Even in other entities, their spirit's not limited, as I tell my friend, to white male Republican body. You know what I mean? It'd just be dumb to think that you know, incarnate as the same thing over and over. And then, of course, you get the whole, thumbprint thing with your thought, astrology, and everything, which, it's more influences, more learning, and that's what we should be grateful for, because we all, kind of given that opportunity to come here and grow. We have real opportunity to get some stripes, on our souls if we would just get out of the material a little bit and focus on the eternal, and again, those are some virtues, and it's in the soul, Besides, it's tough for me, It's tough in this to not get conspiracy on people because there's obvious, groups at work like that aren't up to no good, I mean, we just got to start speaking our truth to everyone and not being afraid. We know the Jesuits are up to no good. We know a lot of these people that hurt children are up to no good. I get upset with that because you speak out against it, and the first thing people say to you is, "Oh my God, you're gonna get sued," or "Oh my God, they're gonna come after you," "Oh my God, you're gonna kill you," or "Do this or this." It's like, dude, you gotta quit thinking like you're just a body. Like, if they kill me and I die, I'm eternal. I'll be back, and I'll be better for it. They'll just make me stronger. It's ridiculous. And when I say to you, like, hey, this guy just hurt a child, and you want to bring up some bullshit law, like, really? I mean, or reputation, or it's like, did you hear what I just said? Like, I mean, I just said that they're hurting kids, and you're talking about what, slander? Like, I mean, I don't know. I think we've got to get to the point, all of us, where we're not afraid to stand up against these indecent people in our community, and that's what driving these parasites out of just, I mean, physically in our communities, physically inside us, cleaning ourselves out, doing the good work. And it's not always easy, but we just gotta come together. I mean, we're so old, or just our spirits, you know what I mean? How long do we want to keep playing these games where we're just like coming back here and just like learning these same shallow lessons, torturing each other, just creating all this bloody karma to clean up? We just got to come together. Like, I mean, us as a people, as our higher selves, or, I mean, everyone, all the races, the soulmates, the soul monads. I mean, we're all different aspects of God. We're all sparks of God, having a different experience, eventually going back to it. So it's like, how are we gonna? This difference is all just an illusion. A lot of it is Maya. Illusion, like they say. And again, this was just kind of like an off the cuff rant, and. But I don't want it to be negative. Like, I mean, of course, we're all part of the system in some way. If you want to eat, which is a whole other subject. But we don't need to feel bad about it. We just need to start doing. Maybe we do. I don't know. But regardless of our situation, we can all start doing more positive things, and it starts in baby steps. Sometimes, and if it needs baby steps, that's fine. That's fine. Like, I think God's got time, but do we? Like, I mean, I just wanted to ask you, all like what is really important. You know, I've been thinking about that. How we can really, come together and effect a positive change. I think we're all in it together. So let's figure it out. It's truth. A lot of it's beautiful. I mean, it can be scary. A lot of it, craziness, but it's more beautiful than it is scary when you get down to it. And you know, so hopefully we can keep that in mind this March here, coming up. Drive the snakes out, like Saint Patrick, the Druid Sun Priest, I believe. So something to think about. Just little spring cleaning coming up. There's a bunch of other stuff I want to talk about, like jail and the other just challenges. All the crazy corporations I worked for, selling burial policies in North Philly. um, it's funny, but just all this stuff, But it's like we all have a path, and it all leads us, once we start to, just have a little faith in our souls, I think they come back to us. And, for all the people I hurt, to, everyone out there that, was hurt, and because, I went through a part of my life and I sort of pushed my higher self away. I let the ego, the lower self, just totally take over and start driving. And, it's just a horrible thing to do. I mean, look back like learning experience, but it's like, man, so many things that you hurt, you hurt people, around, there's so many people that are so precious to us, our higher selves, our soulmates, our queens, our kings, on the higher level. And when we fall, a lot of times we hurt those people around us. Here we are, and we have a chance to try and rise and help those people around us. I think it's especially important for people here, in the States. I mean, you gotta wake up. There's a lot of work to be done. I mean, people are asleep, people are hurting, and just sometimes they need a hand in the fog, and I've always kind of felt like there's a lot of these great beings out there, gods, goddesses, and they're all the sun and moon and planets, these great energies, and we're just kind of like as great as, we can help the next person down, we're all in it together, like we're all rising, we're all evolving, even the gods, and there's lessons, there's angels and demons and all, it's good and bad. Reminds me of that Shakespeare quote that I can't really remember. Not good or bad, but the king makes it so. Um, just a lot of love to you guys, and I hope we can come together and just, put all these differences aside. That's not what's important. It's really all our samenesses, and there's a lot of them. And, so think about that, and I'll try and do things later.